Hey guys, Darkovika here. And when I sat down today, a text-based adventure was not what I intended to record. In fact, I had a number of games that I intended to record, and this was definitely furthest from my concept of playing. However, it is Robin Hood related, and therefore it could not escape my all-seeing eye because I am constantly on the lookout for Robin Hood games. I'm serious. You make a Robin Hood game and I will probably buy it. Like, I'm not even joking. I found this on Steam. I have this on my phone. It's a game called Nocked, and okay, I don't know if you could tell, it's in the bottom right hand corner. It is a text-based adventure, and it is one of the best that I've seen and messed around with. I haven't beat it, and I haven't actually gotten very far in it, but I'm obsessed with the way that it was made, and I'm obsessed with the game. Every time I play it, I get so stoked about it that I immediately stop playing because I want to go make something. That is literally, that sounds really stupid, but that is majority the reason why I haven't beat this game, because it impresses me so much that I just can't beat it. But I have come up with a new strategy for inspiring myself for YouTube, and that is basically I want to make very long videos, only a handful, not even, that is not correct, maybe once a week. So this video is probably quite long, I imagine. Now this is a text-based adventure, so there will be mostly just reading in this. There is music. It is not repeated, obviously, because there's none playing right now. So I will be doing mostly reading. However, the background does change, which is frankly very cool. And I don't know. I'm very impressed by this. This guy only has 12 reviews. Go leave him some love. Even if you don't buy the game, just say, hey, I watched somebody play this and I think you're amazing. And so does she. I'm going to review this later. But anyways, that is beside the point. Let's go ahead and dive into this text-based adventure. What an odd thing to be doing on YouTube for a really long. I'm just gonna do it. Who cares at this point? I have 9,000 subscribers. I've been doing this for over 10 years. I ain't going nowhere. All right. So this is welcome to Nocked. Was it Knock? Nocked. Click on the darkened text of one of the difficulty levels to get started. Where? What? Access more options. Did I accidentally scoot ahead? I hope not. I want to restart. Restart. Because I think I skipped something. Because I had to click. Yeah, see. Look how pretty this is. Come on. This is so impressive. Bro. I think his name is Richard. I forgot his last name. Dude. Game after my own heart. Okay, let's click. No, I didn't skip anything. I think I just... I made this go away. Click on the darkened text of one of the... Oh, I know what it wants. All right. Okay, so it says, King Richard the Lionheart is gone to the Crusades, along with most of England's able-bodied men, and has left the kingdom in the hands of his brother, the wicked Prince John. Meanwhile, the prince's ambitious crony, the Sheriff of Nottingham, terrorizes the countryside. As you strive against the evil sheriff, your every choice will change your fate. But fate can be fickle or forgiving. Just how much so depends on you. Choose your difficulty level. I'm going to choose not impossible. I'm going to go with story mode. It says, the state of England is a chaos waiting to be relieved by your actions. Skilled warriors, battle-hardened from years of war and unrest, are ready to join your band. Gold traveling through Sherwood is lightly guarded. Normal. The best of England is away at the Crusades, but a core group of skilled yeomen remain in the country, ready to fight injustice at your call. Gold traveling through Sherwood is moderately guarded. Challenging. You're just another band of ruffians while the sheriff's forces are highly trained and ride regular patrols around Sherwood. Gold traveling through Sherwood is heavily guarded. The factions of England eye you with distrust, and the challenges you'll face may demand hard choices. I'm not even going to read impossible because I ain't doing that. I'm doing story mode because, look, I can't do wrong with Robin. Not to start with. Okay. See? Look at that. It changed. That is so impressive. I'm sorry. I'm very easily impressed when it comes to Robin Hood. England, 1192, a quiet spring evening. Bring me the Locksley brat! The sheriff's bellow echoes through the walls of your home. The one named Robin. The rest are yours. Hobnailed boots shake the walls on all sides as soldiers fill the house. You need to get out of here. You don't have much time. So as the game saves automatically, these tooltips contain useful information, which itself changes. Okay, so blah. It's a tutorial. Alright, so we have our first several options. I can sneak out the back entrance through the kitchen. I leap through from the window and race for the stables. The guards don't know me. I throw a cloak around my shoulders and blend in with the household staff. I think I'm going to sneak out the back entrance. You slip through the shadows, through the dust and spider webs of unused back hallways. Almost said alleyways. Ever one step ahead of the sheriff's plundering guardsmen. You duck into a storeroom by the kitchen as a pair of guards march past, dragging cook and a scullery maid around a corner. No. You've gained renown. Now's my chance. I ambush the guards. Wait a minute. No, I have to save them. I ambush the guards while their backs are turned. You grab a pair of kitchen knives and catch the guards by surprise. 2 guards, dead as they were about to assault cook and her scullery maid. I just realized I haven't done that in the past playthroughs. Like, I totally just took off and left them. I didn't even, like, connect what was going to happen to them. My God. I'm making up for it now. You take a sword and bow from one of the dead. Barely serviceable, but they'll do. Robin, cook clutches at you. You've got to get out of here while you still can. The guards taunted us. Promised we'd survive the night, but only under their protection. I need to save as many as possible. I need to save as many people as I'm gonna go all out. You sprint through the halls, searching for other survivors. The sheriff's men are preoccupied with looting your home, and you move past their positions without a fight. The door to the study is locked, and you hear women weeping on the other side. There's no time. I kick the door down. Guards are on their way. Maybe I can make it back here later. I pick the lock. You get the door open and slip silently into the room. Robin, a maid, sits in one corner. 3 others are huddled nearby. What are you doing here? The guards, they're coming back. There are valuable documents here. Make for the kitchen. I'm laying a trap. I stand behind the door. I don't want to kill too many people. Like, come on. All right, I'm getting you out of here. Let's go. You step into the hallway and pin a pair of guards against the... Oopsies. Oh, I got people. I think that's what that said. So this is a resource and a strategy game. Believe it or not. It's a text-based adventure, but you build your... I just want to speak a little more about it. You build your, like, hideout. You get, like, resources, gold, people to work for you, like, that kind of thing. You step into the... Okay, so you've gained a measure of power for saving the people of Locksley. Power is often gained through selfless or heroic actions, as well as through the steady struggle against the sheriff. Power can eventually be used to start special projects, gain favor with the factions beyond Sherwood, and influence the larger world beyond Sherwood Forest. See, like, how freaking cool is this? I'm sorry. You have gained the allegiance of several merry men, as they will come to be known. Among other things, they can help you win battles, waylay caravans, and steal the crown's taxes. Your merry men have a variety of duties, including hunting, training, and scouting, but a certain number are available for tasks or missions at any time. Once assigned to a task, they return slowly over time. Like, what? That is so impressive. I'm sorry. Okay, you step into a hallway and pin a pair of guards to the wall with arrows through their throats. The maids follow, spit at the guards' feet, and take their daggers. All right. Kick ass. I'm sorry. I shouldn't swear. Okay, Cook and Anna are in the kitchen, a bag of supplies at their feet. Bill, one of the stable hands, has a group of children gathered by his feet. You gather the survivors and escape into the night. There's a stiff wind and the weather's been dry. By the time you reach the edge of the fields, the fire has spread from the house to the church. Oh! The screams of everyone left behind echoes in your ears. My people. The night passes. Alright, we got 46 gold, 10 men, and 73 renown. You have gained some gold. As the currency of the realm, gold can be exchanged for goods and services. Gold is also the measure of any raw resources you have at your disposal. Spend it wisely. The next day dawns cool and clear through smoke from the smoldering ruins of your home. Though smoke from the smoldering ruins of your home still blackens the distant horizon. You have a bounty on your head, doubtless, and it will only grow should you continue to evade capture. Meanwhile, pursuit will come, likely in the form of Baskervilles, the sheriff's special hounds, bred to the size of a horse. That is terrifying. But for now, you have other concerns. You need food, shelter. Voices clamor nearby. The maids busy themselves tidying the camp. Cook and Anna talk quietly, glancing worriedly at the horizon. Other refugees found you during the night. They've gathered what little they saved from their homes in the center of camp, including a fair amount of gold. The people you rescued look to you for direction. The horizon calls, cold and clear. Alright, so let's see. I gather those who followed me through the night. We need to talk. Your followers gather around you. Split up among the nearby. You must find a new home protection. I'm not sure what. Okay, hang on. Let's think about this for a minute. We need to find food for everyone. Your eyes travel over the rolling hills, tracking signs of isolated farmsteads. The year is still young, but there is bounty to be had if you know where to look. The new green crowns of Sherwood Forest rise not half a league off. The King's Forest, full of deer and other game. I mean, I am outlawed, but the rest of us aren't. I feel like we should not do that yet. I brave Sherwood Forest. There will be venison tonight. I send my followers to poach. No, I'm not going to send them. That's for sure. To forage for... Okay, I know this one works. Your followers spread out among the hills, searching for berries and edible greens. There will be enough food tonight for all. Now other concerns await your attention. Your eyes track across the landscape, watching for signs of the sheriff's men. There, a flash of white against the cerulean sky. A horse with a sparkling horn that rises from its forehead grazes on a nearby hilltop. I am absolutely approaching. The unicorn's nostrils flare, catch your scent. It fixes you with a gimlet eye just beyond arm's reach. Are you a virgin? The beast speaks soft. Oh, excuse me. Are you a virgin? I'm gonna, wait. Are you a virgin? That's like the voice of Mercedes from Fire Emblem. The beast speaks soft, feminine, and clear in the king's English. Of course. I hope you are saving yourself for true love. The unicorn angles its horn towards your heart. Perhaps we shall meet again. We are a virgin for the rest of the game. Alright, there, but for the grace of God I go. Or go I. You have been granted a measure of grace. When you find yourself down and out, or need a little extra help, you might have the opportunity to choose a grace option. While there are sometimes alternate solutions to a situation, grace options will always help you out of your current situation in the best possible way. Be warned, grace can be used once, and will not return before the turning of the seasons. Good lord. Okay. Unicorn rears up on its hind legs and vanishes twixt the passing of a cloud. No sign is left on the return of the sun. You shake your head and continue on your way, left only with a lingering sense of wonder. Alright, so, we need to talk. I need to tell them what to do. The sheriff is after me and I must go alone. Split up among the nearby farmsteads. Ask for shelter, offer to work, find somewhere to live until the danger is past. Let's say that. Your people nod. It's not what they wanted to hear, but it makes too much sense to deny it. They begin to gather their belongings. This is an opportunity to spend your resources, gold, renown, men, to access special options in the game. It's not what they wanted to hear. What else were we going to do? What does it say? Gold and renown are used, while your men will return slowly from their assignments over time. The cost of the option is detailed in parentheses. Okay, that's fine. I distribute some money among them to help. Oh, I do not have enough gold to do that. How could I wind up with 1,000 gold? My God, is there a new game plus? I will 100% do a new game plus. Like, I'm just saying. I have a lot of renown though. I visit with each of them and say my farewells. 1,000%. Because I can't give them money. No one is happy about this. Slowly, in groups of twos or threes, I'm sorry. Anna waits. Farewell, Robin. Fly fast and far from the sheriff's wrath. I hope we see you again. I want to give you money, but like I can't. I'm broke. I probably could have gotten 1,000 gold if I had like actually walked around my house and like got some stuff. I know. I'm sorry. I chose to save people. Okay. Take these letters, Anna. Ask assistance from Robert Fitzhugh. He has always been a friend of the Locksleys. I barely know how to read, Robin, but I will do as you ask, though I shall be more careful in the approach. Godspeed. Anna watches your departure, silhouetted against the brazen sky. Then she's gone. Without warning, a white hart bursts from the trees, followed swiftly by a large gray wolf. Not shooting it. Nature is brutal but fascinating. I pause to watch the kill. The hart turns at the last moment and flips the wolf up and over its antlers. The wolf lands heavy, and the hart, head high, prances back into the forest. Well, you imagine the wolf's sarcastic voice as it slowly levers itself to its feet. That was embarrassing. How about we keep this little incident between the two of us? He limps back into the forest. I feel you. Sherwood beckons. I'm going into Sherwood. Haunted or not, Sherwood will offer you safety from the sheriff, if it doesn't kill you by other means. Given time, you may even find means to strike back against the sheriff for what he has done. You move deep into the forest, fighting... Do I have men? No, I have no men. Fighting bramble and thorn, when there comes a dreadful baying on the wind. The sheriff has released his hounds, and they are nearly upon you. I stumble, stagger, and push my way through the brush, fetch up against the bole of a large tree. Your heart is pounding, your breath comes ragged in your lungs, your clothes are tattered and torn from the thickets and brambles, yet still the baying of the hounds is at your heels. They are probably that big. Okay, hang on. Major events and the turning of the seasons will trigger a checkpoint. You can always reload the game back to the last checkpoint. You've made it to Sherwood Forest, the King's Forest, the no man's expanse of untamed wilderness beyond Nottingham, yet still the sheriff's hounds rush to bring you to ground. Baskerville hounds, as large as a horse. That, I feel I'm gonna die if I do that. The tree at my back is surrounded by a ring of mushrooms, a fairy ring. It's said to be a border the hounds will not cross. I hear a river nearby, cross it. Okay, I'm going with the fairies. Like, come on, let's go. Let's go, fairies. The hounds break through the wood with the sound of a thunderstorm. Huge, slavering, black as coal, the three beasts fan out to cut off any escape. The hounds stop, bounce as if repelled by an invisible wall. Bouncing. They circle the border of the ring, snapping and snarling, spraying saliva all over you. Ew. The mushrooms may stop their teeth, but it does not stop their spittle. A wolf crashes into the hounds, drives it into the magical barrier, and is in turn thrown through to land at your feet. You meet the wolf's golden eyes, that same wolf who crossed your path on the road, and swear he winks, as if to say, watch this. The mushrooms pulse and glow, set off a spray of phosphorescent spores. The hounds sneeze and sneeze again. One of them whines, and then as a pack they vanish into the woods. You hear their rough sneezes fade in the distance. All right, look, is the sheriff dealing with demons? Because those hounds sound like demons, and I'm not okay with demon hounds. Like, we taken him down for other reasons, because demon hounds is bad. All right, the wolf steps back through the ring, stretches his front paws, and is gone. I have a new best friend, and he's a wolf. With the hounds gone, you have a chance to look around. This is deeper in the forest than you've ever been. But someone else was here first, and not so long ago. So, okay, here a scrap of cloth from a noble woman's veil. The trail leads that way. There are tracks in the forest, what looks like a dozen men. I follow them. Someone came this way and dropped a book. Their path leads through the forest. All right, so I don't know what comes after this part, because I think this is literally the furthest that I've ever gotten. Let me think. I know, not very far. Like, legit, I open the app and I get inspired. That is how easy it is to inspire me. Anyways, so I feel like this will get me men. This may take me to Marian, which would be kind of cool. And I don't know who this belongs to. Like, this could be anybody. I want to try this one. You step through the wood, carefully tracking a scrap of cloth here, a button there, and run straight into a young woman. Your heads collide. Goodness! A noble woman sits on the ground opposite you, rubbing her head. Her basket of raspberries is overturned at her side. I'm so very sorry. A pair of ladies-in-waiting scurry around the raspberry bushes. My lady, are you all right? Quickly, come away from this hooded ruffian. Nonsense. The noble woman rises, brushes down her skirt, and tucks a strand of dark hair behind her ear. We were both out gathering dinner, and we forest travelers must stick together. It takes a peculiar type of person to brave Sherwood Forest. She regards you curiously and offers her hand. Hey, it is Marian! Did I call that or what? Also, I apologize for my really bad accents. Is a thing. She regards you curiously and offers her hand. I am Maid Marian of Woodbridge. The Sheriff of Nottingham imprisoned my father, seized my family lands, and announced his intention to marry me. Ew? By force. I and my ladies-in-waiting fled into the forest to avoid capture. Now, if I were to hazard a guess, and I am an excellent judge of character, I would say you are Prince Locksley. I'm a prince? All right. I'll take it. Rightful heir to the throne of England. I am? Your father was the late Henry the Younger, Richard's older brother. It was an open secret at court that you were fostered out to the Locksley farm. That is, open secret, yes, but my goodness, that is a lot of information that you have about me, madam. You are good. That's quite correct. I smile. You can call me Robin. Well, we've been nearly neighbors our entire lives. I'm simply embarrassed we've never met in person. She shrugs. Would you like me to be impressed, or bow down to the fact that your family managed to procreate? Marian laughs. It is kings and would-be kings who've caused all of this. She gestures at herself, at you. I will raise the people of Nottingham in righteous rebellion and deal with my traitorous uncles. My existence was kept secret to avoid another war for the throne. I would not see the country dipped in blood on my account, but the sheriff abuses his powers and must pay for his crimes. I would rather that. Like, I don't want to really go the route of, like, nobility. I don't know. Is that right? Let's do this one. A secret, just like in the fairy tales. I mean, it was an open secret. Marian smiles. You should at least have a title, and I've heard royal blood has a special connection to this forest. That's it. I shall refer to you as the Prince of Sherwood. I'll take it. No one here will contest that claim. I have to say, she appraises your pack. You look comfortably supplied for an extended stay in the forest. I'm impressed. She checks the sun. Come on, camp is nearby, and it's getting late. I'm a woman. Oh, I can make myself a woman. That's kind of cool. I didn't know you could do that, but that's wild. Man to woman, there are protocols to be observed. I will keep Robin a man. Although that's wild. And like the replayability on this is so freaking rad. Like, come on, are you not impressed? Am I the only one impressed here? Please say no, because I am impressed. Thank you, Robin. Marian, I told her something about protocols being observed and offered her my arm. I didn't read it. Marian takes your arm. It's been a while since I've had a proper escort. Rosalind and Matilda prepare dinner. I'm assuming those are her ladies in waiting. Maidies in waiting. That's exactly it. That night, Marian joins you around the campfire with a small plate of berries and roast mushrooms. We've been wandering these woods for days without success. I'll admit, I'd given up hope of meeting anyone. That we met you is the first bit of luck I've had in some time. Were you looking for someone? Why is the sheriff determined to marry you? Can you tell me about the court? I've only heard story of all those. Stay silent and watch the fire. Come on, Robin. Were you looking for someone? Indeed, Marian nods to herself. I had high hopes of encountering Sir Will Scarlet. As the king's warden, he watches over the forest from a fortified tower in the deep wood, with dozens of highly trained men at his command. Trusted and respected throughout the land, he would face down the sheriff and his lackeys. If you believe in yourself, okay, that's a lie. He sounds like a real hero. I've heard stories about him since I was a child. Why is the sheriff determined to marry him? Look at my super cool figure, like, alright, he looks pretty snazzy. My family is an old one with extensive lands and titles. With our marriage, the sheriff could legitimize his claims of nobility and even aspire to the throne, were Prince John to be inconvenienced. Does Prince John know of the sheriff's plans? Can we use this information against the sheriff? The accusations are baseless, and John considers the sheriff a loyal subject. I doubt we could sway his opinion so simply. Can you tell me about the court? I've only heard stories. Marian brightens. It'd be my pleasure. Hang on. Your forest defense, political influence, magical discoveries, and legendary momentum will have an effect on the men and renown you gain. Good lord, I have stats! With the turning of the seasons, as well as your ability to raid the sheriff's tax caravans, they are long-term investments in the future of your show. I'm so flippin' excited, it hurts. Like, oh my god, I love this. Alright, it'd be my pleasure. She launches into stories of her days in Richard's court, and while there are enormous feasts and fancy dresses, what she focuses most upon is the ceaseless gossip and backbiting between the nobles. You don't doubt that Marian's political skills are razor sharp. A wolf howls nearby, and one of the ladies in waiting shrieks. Rosalind, Marian says, come, sit by the fire. What's troubling you? My lady, it's just that we came here to find Warden Will Scarlet, but no one's seen him in years. I'm starting to think he no longer exists. You have a point, Marian concedes, but what of it? We can work against the sheriff ourselves. The forest is vast. Don't give up hope. We'll find him yet. My Robin is a spiritual person. He's not very caught up in that silly, reason or logic. I can't keep wandering aimlessly. With all that the sheriff has done, with everything he continues to do, it needs to stop before more people are hurt, Mo. Stop the sheriff's men. Show the people that someone out there cares. People will follow. There are mercenaries out there. Warriors displaced by the Crusades. With them, we can have an army in no time. Rob from the rich. Give to the poor. The people will love us when we return what's been taken from them. Meet with the nobles. They don't like the sheriff any more than we do, and they could quickly raise an army if they have something to rally around. I don't know if I want to get an army, but we do need people. Like, as much as I love, me and Marian doing things together, like, just the two of us are not going to be very helpful. Show the people that someone out here cares, the people will follow. I want to do this one. I mean, you know. So it boils down to money. With money, we become famous or powerful. Marian's silent for a time. I have a little gem sewn into my skirts. It's a start. Marian takes a few steps and pauses at the edge of the firelight. I'm glad we ran into each other. You're so much more capable in these woods than us. Suffice it to say, I've informed Matilda and Rosalind that they are to obey you without hesitation while traveling in the forest. I trust you to keep us safe. I'll do my best. And consider the responsibility Marian's placed on my shoulders. Nah, I'll do my best. That's all I ask. Marian walks into the night. Good night, Robin. You have a noble lady and her maids in tow. What could go wrong? Please don't say that. Have I chosen incorrectly? The next morning, you wake to a flurry of activity. You are Prince Robin of Sherwood, scion to the throne of England. There's a bond of blood between you and the forest. Call to the fairies who safeguarded your childhood and let the power of magic sing in your veins. Additionally, you have a knack for judging the true worth of objects. Whenever you gain gold, you gain an additional 500 gold. Booyah! I'm assuming that's something that I picked up from my conversational choices. I have proven to be quite the believer in the fae. Oh, now I have 1,000 gold. You wake to a flurry of activity. Marian's bustling about the camp, packing up her few possessions and stamping out the fire. I was up early, couldn't sleep, she says by way of explanation. Went for a walk, and who did I spot but Guy of Gisbourne? She crouches down to look you in the eye. The sheriff's cousin and master of the hounds himself, camped right over that ridge. The baying of hounds echoes through the forest. The Baskervilles are on the move, but not toward us. They are hunting someone else. Stop them before they catch their quarry. Excuse me. I say let's hunt the hounds. Whatever they're hunting needs our help. You want to turn the tables on the hounds? I like it, but Marian pauses. They're ranging far and fast. Will be the better part of the day just getting back here, much less forging deeper into Sherwood. If Guy is here, the sheriff and his huntsmen are likely not far behind. She steps close. Also, the ladies in waiting are terrified of those hounds. We're better off sending them away. I think that's a fair point. We don't really have numbers to take on the hounds. And I don't want to leave Marian and the ladies on their own because, come on, really? Like, that's a terrible idea. Everybody's gonna die. So let's strike it, Sir Guy. Oopsies. Marian instructs her ladies in waiting to continue on ahead and keep moving into the forest if you don't catch up before dawn. Guy is camped in the shelter of a large log. You have a perfect view of his red doublet and trimmed goatee as he hunches over his campfire, brewing tea in the chill, damp morning. We need to talk. I ain't talking to no Guy of Gisbourne. I'm metagaming. I already know he's a jerk. Alright, so I'm not attacking. Let's sneak into his camp and steal his supplies. Guy is slow and unobservant before his morning tea. You slip unnoticed through the trees to the edge of his camp and swipe his saddlebags. Inside you find food, more tea, and a substantial amount of gold. Marian whispers as you tiptoe away through the forest. Guy must have been collecting the local taxes before detouring to hunt you through the forest. She keeps digging through the pack. There's more. This dog whistle, we can use it to call the hounds back from their hunt. Yeah! If it's the wolf and unicorn who are being hunted, I owe them that much. 1,000,000%! Save the unicorn and the wolf. Marian takes a deep breath and blows, but the whistle makes no sound. None you can hear anyway. Come on, let's get out of here. You and Marian sprint through the woods, the baying of hounds rising by the minute. Elsa, the unicorn, and I much appreciate how you got those hounds off our trail. Wolf jogs up beside you, his growls and yips sounding very much like speech. I'd like to return the favor. Wolf leads you in a different direction. I live here, after all. You imagine the hot breath of the hounds on your neck. Now, do you trust me? Hell yeah, why not? Then jump. You leap, falling into a deep gorge, and the icy river closes over your head. The hounds skid to a stop at the top of the gorge, barking furiously. Bone-weary and exhausted, you stumble across Rosalind and Matilda just before dawn. Perfect. The next day. Marian, you are in camp, be it on the road in a hidden cave or behind fortress walls. Camp is a moment of safety from the sheriff's men. While in camp, you may have the opportunity to use resources to advance your cause and engage in conversation, frivolous or otherwise, with your allies. Oh yeah. Marian forges through the forest, her skirts up around her knees, and her maid, Matilda, fluttering after her, clucking disapprovingly. Finally, she stops beneath a spreading oak. "This will do," she declares. "We can camp here. Time to figure out our next move before the sheriff sets more men on our trail." She spreads out a small map and several pieces of paper and begins making notes. I sit down and chat with... There's that wolf again, half hidden by the underbrush. I walk over to him. He looks friendly. "Hey, boy." Why do I feel like this wolf is not going to enjoy being called like that? Oh, well, let's talk with Marian. Marian looks thoughtful. "We've escaped the sheriff's men. This is our chance to set the seeds of resistance. For that, we need to stop running." She taps her map, a vast emptiness simply labeled Sherwood. This is the deep wood, said to be home to fairies and boggarts, dragons and trolls. Whatever the truth, the sheriff's men don't dare set foot in here. If we can establish a base, we'll be safe, at least for a while. There are 3 things we need to accomplish to make that a reality. We need a fast, defensible way in and out of the deep wood. We need to make contact with the king's warden, and we need to clear competing bandits from the area. I'm not sure where to start. Whew. What's a good way in and out of the deep wood? Let's ask if the order of our activities matters. Events are moving faster than I'd like. I can't tell you how, but time has a way of changing things, and with the sheriff working to catch us, time is not always on our side. She laughs. That was perhaps a more complicated way of saying, yes, the order matters. All right, let me think. So we need to be able to get to camp really quickly, right? Like if something's going wrong, we need to be able to get in and out of the deep wood to be able to lose people. The king's warden is Sir, what's-his-butt, Scarlet. Well, Scarlet. While he would be fantastic to get a hold of, I feel like the fact that we really don't know where he is a massive problem. And I don't know how we're going to find him. So he's like the hardest of these, I think. And the least feasible. You mentioned bandits. The bandits are a problem because, I mean, we could get numbers out of bandits if we were able to sway them to our side, right? Like, if we can make them our allies, that'd be pretty fancy, I think. However, if we don't have a way in and out of it, see, like, I'm torn between these two. I mean, technically, I could ask if there's anything else we could do that might help our situation, but I'm going to ask about the bandits. The Black Wolf Bandits are a large, organized force known to operate out of the deep wood. They're led by a notorious Viking marauder, Harald the Grim, and are rumored to be in pay of the sheriff. Oh. The questing knight, Sir Pellinor, has promised his assistance if we help him drive the bandits from the deep wood. Sir Pellinor is working against the bandits in this area. Marian draws an X on her map. When we're ready for a fight, we should meet him there. Take aim when there is further information to be uncovered before committing to a course of action. You can always take out of a take aim choice without consequence. Let's prepare to deal with the bandits. Let's drive off the wolf bandits. So taking aim, I assume, means we're going to actually sit down and plan something. Let's talk about other stuff. We have a friend in the church. Friar Tuck has reported sightings of ghosts in the ruins of Highever. He would appreciate it if we could investigate the situation before someone gets hurt, and before the sheriff solves the problem his own way. I realize this doesn't seem relevant to our situation, but we should not underestimate the support of the church. She marks the map. Located at an ancient crossroads through the outer forest, Highever is fairly easy to get to from other nearby locations, so we can examine it at our leisure. What's a good way in and out of the deep wood? Between Nottingham's trade routes and the deep wood is a river here. She sketches on the map. If we're going to disrupt the sheriff's activities, stop his tax collectors and the like, we can't afford to always take the long way around. I've heard there's a crossing here, she makes a hatch mark, but it's supposedly guarded by a delegate of the crown. If we could secure that crossing for ourselves, perhaps convince this guardian to join us, we can use it to be in and out of Nottingham area before the sheriff knows we're there. She ponders her map. I don't know a good path from within the deep wood. We'll be better off approaching from the outer forest, though we're likely to run afoul of the sheriff's patrols. Anything we can do to throw them off our trail will be helpful. I have some ideas to help evade the sheriff's men on the way to the river crossing. Excuse me. I think we should do this one because being able to get in and out of camp quickly is helpful no matter what we're doing, right? Like it could shave entire days. How much gold do I have? Good Lord, I'm rich. I have 6,942 gold. Like I just noticed. Like I glanced over to the left and was like, I beg your pardon. Neat. Thanks, Sir Guy. That was a great idea. Wish I'd had that like 20 minutes ago. 30 minutes ago. All right, let's try. I have some ideas to help evade the sheriff's men on the way to the river crossing. Marian nods. The area around the river crossing is large. Anything you do will give us more time to explore. We are not alone in the forest. I pay a passing... Oh, wait, you know what? Let's come back to this. We don't have men, so we can't do that one. I feel like I may have mucked that up a little earlier. Like, I could have gotten men out of the camp that we had before I sent everybody off. I just wanted them to be safe, okay? Like, I'm sorry. Oh, well. All right, hang on. Enough. I can come back to these ideas later. Second thoughts, Robin. Marian's mouth quirks. That's okay. It's important to carefully consider your options. I'm going to walk around, think for a minute. Marian nods and returns her attention to her papers. Let's talk to Rosalind. Hello, Robin. I wondered when we'd get the chance to speak. One of Marian's maids, the younger, with long scarlet tresses. Are you well, Scarlet? I got my eye on you, Rosalind. Looks up as you approach. I'm Rosalind, by the way. I don't believe we've been properly introduced. The pleasure's all mine, Robin of Locksley. I am supposed to be noble. Rosalind dips into a brief, deep curtsy, and the dappled sunlight sparkles off her hair, transforming it into copper. You notice her freckles darken perceptibly. I don't want you to think me forward, but I admire the way in which you got us away from Guy of Gisbourne. I'm not flirting with her. Nothing you couldn't have done yourself if you put your mind to it. You're too kind, Robin. Rosalind shrugs. You have something about you. A sense that your actions become something I ship Robin and Marian. Like, hardcore. I like you, Rosalind. But it's Marian all the way. I like her guts. A sense that your actions become something greater. Your decisions become deeds. I have no such presence or skill. I mean, I can sew, and I have some knowledge of healing herbs. And I'm a lousy lady's maid. That last is said in a whisper so soft you barely catch its meaning. Anytime you want a lesson, just find me. You, too, can do great things. Rosalind frowns and searches your face for a time. I'd like that, she says finally. It was good of Lord Woodbridge to take me on when my parents were... conscripted into Richard's crusade, but I have little patience for the life of a maid. She shakes her head. We used to walk the forest in search of herbs and mushrooms to heal the sick. Look, she bends over and comes up with a patch of white mushrooms. Spring bonnets. I haven't seen these in years. She begins describing the plants around the clearing, only occasionally overcome with thought, as if weighing the course of a chosen future. Interesting. All right, let's talk to the wolf. You approach the edge of the clearing. The wolf raises his head. His ears flick forward. So here we are, inseparable companions on this journey. Wolf flicks his ear in your direction, pads out of the forest to your side, his tongue lolling from the side of his mouth. Yes, I have a best friend and it's a wolf. Yes. All of my favorite things combined into one game. Beautiful. If he were to talk, that is likely what he'd be saying now, you imagine, because wolves can't talk. I'm not wrong. Oh, wait, I'm not wrong, am I? Can they? Most humans aren't big on wolves, you understand. Even though you saved me from those hounds, it's important I have our priorities straight. Booyah. Me and Wolf till the bitter end. Good. Glad to see you've taken to listening to those voices in your head. Wolf barks, for effect. Either that or you're going insane. He vanishes into the forest. Think about it. I'll be back. I sit back down with Marian to talk about our options. All right, cool. I've talked to everybody, and I think I am... All right, I have some ideas to help evade the sheriff's men. I pay a passing pig herd to misdirect any men he encounters, or I am woodwise, and lay several false trails to confuse pursuit. I think that might be a good idea. We have a lot of gold, but I don't want to spend quite that much gold. If anyone comes across your trail, they'll waste precious time untangling the mix of marks and leads you laid down. You make a mental note to do this throughout your travels. We are not alone in the I could layer this. Ooh, I like that idea. Let's layer it. I don't want to make any risks. And also, we could get a man out of this. The pickard's eyes widen as he counts the gold into his hand. Absolutely, absolutely. Them sheriff's men won't know which way is north if they cross my path. That was dreadful, but we're just going to move on. He shoos the pigs onward through the trees. I don't have that option. Enough. I could go back to these ideas later. I think we should secure the crossing. Let's take it. Marian rolls up her maps. All right, then. Let's get moving. Sherwood Forest, 11 a.m. Checkpoint triggered. My bounty has increased. I'm sure it's fine. You have limited amount of time to get into the deep wood ahead of the sheriff's forces. Jesus. If nothing changes, the sheriff will catch you just after sunset. Oh, good. The sheriff's men picked up your trail as you came around the edge of the forest. They number at least a dozen, not including hounds and horses, armor, and weapons of cold hard steel. Ahead stands the mist-shrouded deep wood, where 400-foot-tall trees block the light of day and giants grind the bones of Englishmen to make their bread. Fabulous! For fear of their lives, the sheriff's men will not venture there. Between you and this dubious safety lies a cold, fast river, a downed tree that serves as a bridge, and a bear of a man who calls himself Little John. I let Marian do the talking. Nah. I say, man, let us pass. Not until you pay the toll. Little John blocks your path across the river. 5,000 gold. That's highway robbery, Marian exclaims. Wolf presents himself before Little John, who steps aside. Pass, so Wolf. Wolf proceeds across the river and back. He proceeds to flop at your feet and lick his chops. Hey, what about us? Marian protests. We're with him. John shakes his head. He has Deepwood residency. Yourselves are not so fortunate. We're crossing, one way or another. Little John raises his eyebrow and lifts a quarterstaff in his hands. You and what army? Marian glances at the sun. This area is large, Robin, and just about everything takes time. We need to be careful the sheriff doesn't catch up to us. But I really want Little John. Everything takes time. If I ask Marian for advice, please, you must let us pass. Little John puffs out his chest. Must I? For less than 5,000 gold and against the wishes of the king himself. I am the rightful ruler of England. Richard and John are but pretenders. I command you let us pass. Prince John and the sheriff see enemies in Richard's legacy. You were appointed to this post by the king. That simple fact condemns you in their eyes. Until now, Sherwood has been the preserve of the king. Prince John and the sheriff love easy money more than the benefits of a managed forest. They will use this all up for industry and settlement. That last one is a little too complicated. I think I'm going to go with the middle one. You were appointed to this post by the king. That simple fact condemns you in their eyes. Keep talking. Little John grips his quarterstaff. You have my attention. She should speak up. She is a politician. The sheriff will send an army in here unless he thinks we're dead, unless we vanish into the deep wood. We fight for the people of Sherwood. If we're captured, that fight is lost and your world will be turned upside down. Your toll, your duty means nothing to the sheriff. He will take your hard-earned money and slap you in irons. That's a pretty strong one. I'm gonna go with that one. The sun filters down through the trees and a flock of ducks paddle furiously upriver. Little John stretches and runs his hands along the bark of his makeshift bridge. We will be legend. Let us... I want him! Join us. 1,000 renown? Jeezums. Well, I guess I'll use my grace. You believe that, don't you? John chews on a blade of grass. Maybe I've gone daft, but you've got me believing it as well. All right, cross as you will. I'll be at your side until the end. You can tell Little John's tense and worried. You notice him glance anxiously upriver toward the ruins. Listen, he says. There's a shepherdess who often grazes her flocks up by the ruins. We were supposed to meet for breakfast, but she's several hours late, and I can't leave my post. If you find her, find out how she's doing, and I'll be grateful. I'll keep an eye out. Thank you. Little John looks relieved. I worry about her, with no one but those goats around if something should happen. I'm ready to... We can't ask who he is. We don't have time. Little John gestures across the river. After you. Let's get out of here before the sheriff's men arrive. You know, I don't... Who is this? Oh, here we go. I don't often have guests in the deep wood, other than Squire Will Scarlet, the warden of Sherwood, that is. Little John leads you across the bridge. Come along, I'll treat you to dinner. Oh, are we already through? Oh, that was it? Oh, okay. Over the river and into the woods. Little John leads you... Ooh... Oh, this looks pretty. Little John leads you confidently into the gloom-shrouded deepwood. The sun slowly sets in the world beyond. By day, the deepwood can be black as night. He pauses by a small pool at the edge of a grey stone cliff. It's only after sundown that the lights come out. Up and up, you crane your neck backwards until the world spins around you. The trees of the deepwood are transformed into pillars that hold the sky, and the sky is full of stars. The stars, they're moving. Will-o'-the-wisps, some say, or the souls of the dead. I think I actually made it out of that, like I survived that. Nifty, I'll take it. Little John shrugs. A proper fire will scare them off and leave you in the black. But now that you know the trick, you'll never need to fear the dark in here. He winks. Only the beasties that live in it. I've heard of will-o'-the-wisps, Marian says. The tales vary, casting them as saviors or tormentors to those lost in the forest. But whatever their nature, they're said to be drawn to sadness and tragedy. John grins. But I didn't bring you here for the wisps' light show. The cliff, you now realize, is no cliff, but an enormous tree whose trunk is over 50 feet wide. The old oak. Marian runs her hands along the bark. I've always heard stories. Are we supposed to climb this? Hey, Wolf, where are you going? I'm off to meet the locals. Wolf whines and lopes away. It's a wolf thing. Have fun with trees. I'll see you in the morning. Are we supposed to climb this? Little John trips a hidden catch and a rope ladder fumbles down from above. Welcome to my home. You climb 100 feet up the old oak, its branches as wide as a country road. Oops. Oh, I've done a thing. There we go. Little John shows you a small collection of buildings connected by simple walkways. It's comfortable, hidden, and clearly only a fraction of what the great tree and those around it can support. You could house a village up here. Marian looks around, awestruck. Aye, Little John sets out platters of bread, cheese, and dried meat on a low table surrounded by cushions, or an army. There's a huff and a grunt, and a bear joins you on the branch. That's fine. That's normal. Little John tackles the bear and wrestles him onto his back, rubbing his tummy. Robin, Little John grins. I'd like you to meet Sir Bedivere, an old friend of mine. The bear yawns in your general direction, though he looks far more interested in your dinner. I mean, I have a pet wolf, like, who am I to complain? I pass the bear a bit of meat. Sir Bedivere licks it up. He continues on to lick your arm and then your face. I love it! Alright, Little John laughs. Come here, Bedivere, no eating our guests. He winks at you. He hasn't eaten a guest in over 5 years. Don't encourage him. Mist gathers between the trees, pooling in the hollows of their massive roots. Tendrils stretch and reach across open ground to form a net of silken fog. I grew up in the forest. I strike up conversation. Used to climb trees every chance I had. Going for that one. I could tell. Little John levels an appraising stare over the table. You move like one born to the woods. It's in your blood. Why did you climb, Robin? Marian runs her hands along the oak's smooth bark. When I was a child, I'd do anything to get away from my governess. But I was always afraid of heights. She smiles. I still am. When I was as high as I could climb, I pretended I was an eagle or a dragon with no responsibilities or worries in the whole world. My family housed a wandering friar for a time, an enormous man who all but raised me as his own for several years. Tuck was his name. Friar Tuck. I climbed trees because he was too fat to follow me. I want that one! There were many friars, but I've only ever heard of one Tuck. Marian nods. He currently ministers to the poor and dispossessed in Nottingham, those displaced by the Crusaders and Prince John's endless taxes. It was only by his warning I was able to escape when the sheriff seized my home. We should make contact with him as soon as we have the chance. Little John speaks around a mouthful of food. He could help us gather support against the sheriff. You settle down to a hearty meal, and the talk slows as you eat your fill. By the time you're sated, you realize you're sitting alone at the table. I catch up to John and Sir Bedivere. I wonder about the periphery of the light and cry wolf. Lol. I look for Marian. A single large flower opens on a nearby vine. Then another. Perfume fills the air, and a branch is transformed from spring to winter, covered length and breadth in snowy white blossoms. I was thinking. Marian's face is freckled with light from the wisps as she stares up into the tree. The people need a hero if they're going to oppose the sheriff. Someone, like St. George, who will give them hope. The mist now blankets the forest floor, thick, impenetrable. It's as if you're sitting high above the clouds. We
can't help the people if we don't save ourselves first.
It was nice to have some time to talk. Good night.
Marian, what happened to your father? He was summoned to Nottingham to meet with the sheriff. When he wouldn't accede to the sheriff's demands, she stares into her cup, to give away my hand in marriage, he was arrested. The sheriff came for my home soon after. The wisps gather close, hovering near her. We'll rescue your father. Really? She blinks owlishly. Even when the people cry out for help, even with the sheriff in your grasp, you'll walk away and save my father then.
Yikes. I don't see why. Marian.
I shall not abandon your father, Marian.
If I swear this, I'm gonna get held to it, and that's gonna be scary. Heck it, let's do it.
You clasp hands, sealing your oath.
We have to remember that. There's no going back. That's it. It's done. I've made my decision.
The wisps spin high above and hold you in a star pattern. The forest has witnessed your vow.
About me making all these decisions. We can't help the people if we don't save ourselves first.
I know. I just wanted to remind myself about the common folk, what they're suffering. It's so easy to forget about them sometimes. What we do for them. It's good of you not to forget the little people. St. George slew a dragon. What have we done to show our worth to the people? What we do for them. My thoughts exactly, Marian smiles. You're quite pretty.
Do we flirt? Is now the time for flirting? Is this the right... I'm not good at flirting. Like, I know I'm engaged and stuff. You'd think I'd know how to flirt, but you can ask Brent. I'm really bad at it.
Marian, you know you're quite pretty. Thank you, Robin. Is that all? Marian looks deep into your eyes.
Is now the time? I don't know. Is it the... Do I kiss her? Do I wait? Does this count as not being a virgin? I got a promise to a unicorn to keep. Like, I gotta wait for true love, right? Like, if I kiss her, does more stuff happen? I mean, I just met her. Like, I feel like it's too far. You know what? Let's wait. It's too soon. We just met her. It is for now.
Ha-ha! All right. Marian inclines her head and favors you with a deep smile. Perhaps I'm a little old-fashioned, but I would love to continue this conversation when we've made some proper inroads into the forest. Good night, Robin.
I think that was what? Rosalind's out at the edge of the light. I join her.
They're so pretty, aren't they?
Rosalind stares into the fog. What about the other lady in waiting? We've only talked to Rosalind.
Entranced by the wisps floating just beyond her reach, does it tickle if they touch you, or do you think they might burn?
No, I'm not telling her she's pretty. Burn, I imagine. Pretty things are usually dangerous.
Oh, they most definitely are. Rosalind nods, serious. I know the stories of the Grey Witch. The deep wood is no place for fools. She leans close, content to stand and watch the lights move through the mist.
Wait, back up. This is the Grey Witch.
She's just a story. A lot of stories, actually, but they're all different. There's a common thread, though, be she woman or fae, cursed or blessed. I always like the version...
What?
Where she was the daughter of Lancelot and Guinevere. Regardless, every story agrees that the Grey Witch, the wisps, and the fog are in some way linked, though it is debatable if she's mistress or servant. Also, she's always attended by a musician of uncommon skill.
Alan Adale! My boy. I'm not calling her pretty because I'm not going to flirt.
Rosalind takes a deep breath after a time and releases it. Thank you, Robin. There's something about facing the fog with a friend. It doesn't seem as terrifying. Now come, let's go join the others.
You carefully walk back along the high tree branches and heads off to bed. Let's talk to John and Sir Bedivere. I am a loyal son of a gun, and we are going for Marian.
An owl swoops overhead, banking soundlessly between the branches.
Does that mean...
Wait a minute, can I date the guys if I'm girl Robin? Can I date the guys anyway? Like, am I about to tell John that he's pretty?
John, you're beautiful. An owl swoops overhead. I'm only slightly joking. Banking soundlessly between the branches of the old oak. I have to say, Little John leans back against Sir Bedivere and crosses his arms behind his head. It's mighty grand to have guests for once.
Tell me about yourself, your family, John.
They wandered away into the forest. Bedivere here is all I have left.
John collapses against the bear. Don't worry, Bevy. I won't wander away. I won't heed the call of the wisps. I promise you. I promise you that.
Oh, that was sad.
I had a family too until the sheriff came. To the sheriff's downfall, John proclaims, may tonight mark the beginning, of the middle, of the end of him, and may he suffer when the end finally comes. He looks away. There's to be this shepherdess. John scratches Bedivere under his chin. Allison's her name. When we first met, I thought maybe she was the one for me, but now... You and Allison aren't meant for each other? She wants me to move on to her family's farm. She wants me to leave the deep wood. And I... Little John spreads his hand. Yikes. The deep wood... I was looking at this one. Does she want you, or are you simply convenient? I ain't gonna say that. The deep wood is your home. It's as much a part of you as your beard. Asking you to leave is asking you to be someone you're not. That's right. John slaps his thigh. And there's no way I'll stop drinking. No way I'm shaving my beard. Is that also part of the problem? Does this place see a lot of use? Not so much. John is silent for the space of a deep, long breath. Time enough for him to take a deep, long drink. Not ever, really. You have other friends, right? Like Squire Will? This may be your first party, John, but not your last. To you and Deepwood's hospitality. I wouldn't be so fast to toast to the hospitality of the Deepwoods, John warns. Men like to think of themselves as the worst of the world, but there are things that live here which would make saints, even of the sheriff and Prince John. Still, he raises his glass to friends and companionship. A wolf howls and is joined by another, and another still. The forest resounds with a primeval chorus that goes on, and stops. Even surrounded by food and friends, you suddenly feel very, very alone. I'm off to bed. Good night, Robin. John and Sir Bedivere disappear among the boughs of the old oak. I wander around the periphery. Gotta look for Wolf. He's my bud. I'm not a dog, you know. Wolf appears out of the mist, just another grey shadow until he's far more than that, and very, very solid. What brings you to yodel about the night forest like a wounded lamb? I love lamb, you know. I was worried about you. I wanna play catch. Wolves are quite proud creatures. Touching, but no need. The deep wood is my home. Until you were hit with separation anxiety, I was off looking for my family. Don't let me interrupt. Wolves live in packs. Why are you alone? Wolf flicks one ear at you, the one with the notch. Why do you think, smart human? It must be the company I keep. I think I was mean to the wolf. And I feel sad. Your thoughts turn to the attack on your home. The sheriff's men slaughter your family, and there's the sheriff striding over the threshold through blood and flames. Find the Locksley child and bring him to me, he barks. Kill the rest. It could happen again. The sheriff's trained soldiers, the fire and the sword. It could happen again, and it would be your fault. Melancholic? You trace your way over the branches of the old oak to bed. You meet Marian by the base of the old oak the next morning. Let's get down to business, Robin. What's our next step? So, I would love to get to Friar Tuck because they have mentioned him. So let's investigate. Did I have a quick save? When was my last quick save? Because I need to go have dinner. I have not eaten. Is this it? I am afraid to cease and desist, and I wasn't paying attention. Well, anyways, I am going to go ahead and leave this here. If I come back and, like, it has sadly not checkpointed here, I feel like it didn't. Oh, I'm nervous. Oh, well. We'll find out. Anyways, I will see you guys well, actually, no, this is not the end of the video. I'm supposedly doing a 2-hour video, so if I've decided to keep to that, and I come back in literally a minute and keep going, and the video is 2 hours long, hey, I'm back. If I decide to make this an hour long, because I feel like an hour is quite a toasty time, then I will see you guys in either the next video, if I think we should do more of this, or not. Who knows? I might just do other stuff. I'm still kind of figuring out what the new schedule is, and I'm really thankful to you guys for the fact that I have been absolutely a mess. this year has not been good for schedules. With the wedding and all of that stuff, it's just been really weird for me. So I really do appreciate you guys for always coming back and always commenting and always watching the stuff that I do upload. Those of you who are still here. And I really do appreciate it. You know, it means more to me than I could rightfully explain. I'm saying all this now. I think that means that I'm ending the video here. It feels like a good spot to end it at. So let me know what you guys think of this. And I swear, like, this game is so cool. And I really love it. And I absolutely would love... I'm going to go leave a review because I think this person is amazing. And they've done a really amazing job with this. Like, it's more than just a text-based game. Like, I'm really excited about it. And I really love it. Even after an hour of playing. So, again, thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you guys next time. So, thank you so much. If you've made it this far, you're cool.